thank you for coming to the Stretch and Go session. This new stretch program is just meant to be a resource for employees to help you get up, get moving, and build stretch breaks into your workday. So we hope you take what you learn and practice with us at these sessions and incorporate them throughout your work week schedule. So we're going to start today with a warm-up. I'm going to use my phone to kind of help guide us through the different exercises and durations. So we'll do a 2-minute warm-up, and then we'll go into a series of stretches. Each stretch we do for about 30 seconds. So we'll go ahead and get started with our warm-up. So just start with a march in place. This doesn't need to be quick. It's just designed to get our blood flowing. Many of us maybe just woke up, so our muscles still might be stiff from sleep. So we just want to get the blood flowing throughout the body before we go into stretching. So do this at your own pace. Really just focus on moving, bringing those knees up nice and high. Stationary march. All right, we're going to go into some arm circles. Big arm circles. Get those shoulder blades up and moving and awakened. So kind of arm circles to the front first. Again, at your own pace. There's no speed, there's no rush to this. We're just getting those shoulders moving and blood flowing in that area. And kind of switch it and take those arm circles backwards. Nice, big backwards arm circles. Get those muscles moving in all directions. And we're going to go into some chest openers. So alternating opening and closing at your own pace. So this might feel better if you go slower and hold each section or each movement. Give it a nice little hold. Otherwise, just alternating opening and closing. And that last warm up we're going to do, we're going to get our hips open. So we do heel touches, alternating heel touches. So bring each heel up towards you, touch with the opposite hand. This gets our hips opened and moving. Might have some stiff joints in the hip region. So this is a good move to kind of get those ready for more movement, more activity. All right, that's going to wrap up our warm-up. So we're going to go into our stretches. We're going to start with our neck. So we'll do some neck rotations in one direction. So start with going maybe in clockwise direction on that neck rotation. Nice and slow. No need to rush these. Focused on feeling that neck stretch in every direction. Nice and slowly. Perfect. We're going to switch and we're going to do neck rotations in the opposite direction just to balance things out. So take that neck counterclockwise. Again, slow rotation here. Neck is definitely an area that gets stiff easily. A lot of us are working from home in a workspace maybe not designed to be a workspace, not so ergonomically friendly, so our neck can get a little tense. So make sure you build these breaks into your workday throughout the week and give those muscles a break and some movement. Perfect. We're going to go into a trap stretch next. So you'll start with pushing your left arm down towards the ground. Take that right hand and pull your head slightly towards that right shoulder. This is just a slight pull. You're focused on pushing that left arm down towards the ground. And you should feel this in that trap muscle area. So that muscle that kind of connects your neck to your shoulder. That's where you want to feel this stretch. So pulling down, but really focused on pushing that left arm down towards the ground to feel that stretch. Perfect. And we're going to switch and do the other side. So right arm down towards the ground. Left hand is going to be what you use to kind of pull your head down towards that left shoulder, but focusing on your right arm now and pushing that right arm, extending it down towards the ground to feel that stretch in your trap muscle area. So just hold this stretch here for a little bit longer. Keeping your shoulders and hips squared forward. Perfect. So reset. We're going to go into shoulder stretches. So we'll start with the right side. So comfortable stance. You're going to take your right arm across your body. Use your left arm to kind of pull that right arm in towards your body. Some people like to hold like this, but just make sure you're not putting too much force on your elbow if that's where you're holding. I try to kind of just use my left arm closer to the wrist area and focused on that shoulder stretch. So right here, don't bring your shoulder up towards your ear. You don't want to shrug. Leave it at a normal height. But focus on stretching that arm across the body, feeling that in your shoulder. Right? Reset. Now we're going to do the same thing on the left side. So you'll take your left arm across your body, use that right arm to pull that left arm across, focusing on feeling that stretch in your left shoulder area. And just hold this here. Again, not putting too much force on your elbow if you can avoid that. So if you're holding here, make sure to be gentle on that elbow and more focused on crossing that arm across your body, stretching that shoulder. Perfect. We're going to go into a chest holding stretch. So clasp your hands behind your back. You're going to push backwards, opening that chest up and towards the ceiling and holding this open. If you can't clasp your hands behind your back, you can bring your arms bent at a 90-degree angle. Focus on pinching those shoulder blades so that you're opening this chest area and holding it here. So whichever feels more comfortable, clasping or just having those arms bent and pushing or pinching those shoulder blades together. And hold this chest stretch for a few more seconds here. Perfect. We're going to go into a tricep stretch. So we'll do this on both sides, starting with the right side. Take your right arm up, bend it behind towards your back, and use your left arm to hold that right elbow. And you're going to hold here. So this is a tricep stretch. So you should feel this in your tricep, back muscle in your arm area. And hold here. Again, don't put too much force on this elbow that you're holding on to. You don't want to bend it the wrong direction. You're not trying to force it into an area it's not meant to go, a direction it's not meant to go. So let it bend naturally. Perfect. And you'll switch. So we'll do the left side. So take your left arm up, bend it at the elbow, grab on with that right arm, and hold on to that tricep stretch on the left side now. Again, not being too forceful on that pull, but focused on feeling this in that tricep muscle area. So just hold on that left tricep right here. Deep breaths throughout the stretching session, focusing on your breathing, being mindful of what your body's feeling and telling you. Perfect. We're going to go into some chest opening and closers. That's what we did during the warm-up. So again, just alternating opening and closing. You can do this at whatever pace feels good to you. I was going a little quicker during the warm-up, so I'm going to slow it down here and really focus on opening and closing those muscles and feeling that stretch throughout the chest area and even in your back and your shoulder blades. That alternation between opening and closing really works different muscle groups and muscle areas. Perfect. We're going to go into some hamstring stretches. So we'll kind of start working that lower part of our body. Take your feet a little more than shoulder width apart. Start with the right side, hinge at the hips and bend down towards your right foot. Try to aim for touching your toes, touching the ground towards that right side. If you can't reach that far, maybe holding onto your shin. So just go to the level that you get to when you start to feel that stretch in your back hamstring area. And hold it at that point. Great. Come back up, reset towards the middle. I'm going to do the same thing towards the left side. So feet shoulder width apart, a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. Hinging at the hips, down towards that left side. And hold on to those left toes. Touch the ground towards that left side if you can. Or again, if you can't go quite that far, just go to where you feel that stretch. So maybe you're holding onto your shin and that's where you start to feel that hamstring stretch. If you think you can go a little further to feel that stretch, but listening to your body, don't push it. Perfect. Reset, come back up toward the middle. And we're gonna go down and do one final hamstring stretch straight down towards the middle. So reaching towards that ground in the middle. If you can put your fingertips on the ground or maybe your knuckles to feel that stretch. You can also just hold onto your elbows and completely hinge and hang. So whatever feels good to feel that stretch in the back of your hamstrings. And just hold it here. A few more seconds and release. We're going to do a spine stretch, kind of just open our spine. So bring your feet a little bit closer together. Slowly bend and roll forward, hinging at the hips, reaching down towards the ground. And then slowly roll back up almost like a rag doll. So this is going to open our spine up, get our spine moving. And hinge back over, roll back down towards the ground. And come back up. Slowly roll back up. One more time. And back up. We're going to do some side bends, so you can take your hands behind your head, alternate leaning towards the right and left. And this is going to open our oblique muscles. So do it till you feel a nice stretch on the side of your body. Some people like to put their hands down and kind of use those to reach. Just make sure you're keeping your hips and your shoulders squared forward and focusing on opening those side oblique muscles. Perfect. We're going to finish with 3 deep breaths. This is a good stretch session to start your day off, so get a nice comfortable stance. Focus on what you want to get done for the rest of the day. Deep breath in, reaching up, and exhale. Come back down. Second one, deep breath in, reaching up, and exhale, back down. Last deep breath in, and exhale. Awesome. Thank you guys for joining us for this stretch session. We hope to see you next week.